Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. Stephen A. Smith is something else. As you guys know, he is going viral for the comments that he made about the Lakers being all white players and all of this, and everybody's reacting to it. Has been viewed millions and millions of time on Twitter, and people are talking about it, right? People woke up this morning giving their reaction to it. I'm not giving any reaction to that, man. Y'all can make of that what y'all want to make of it, man. I'm not joining the clown show. I the circus. I know sports media is a clown show. It's a circus, and I'm one of the clowns in it. But I refuse to. I need to sit out this one. I'm gonna leave it to the rest of y'all to do, because I'm just not gonna engage in that nonsense. But anyway, as you guys know, LeBron is currently without a team, and prior to LeBron announcing that he wasn't going to be with the Lakers, people like Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith have been really pushing for the Lakers to sign LeBron James. The Lakers did the total opposite. They went out there to secure their future by paying their young star, Austin Reeves, the money that he was seeking, something that Luka Doncic, who's the face of the franchise, wanted. Then after that, LeBron made his announcement, and within 35 minutes, they made 4 acquisitions. 4. And by the way, right now I'm hearing that the Lakers are targeting Jonathan Kuminga. Wouldn't that be just fantastic if they could pull that off? So I was just looking for what to discuss, and I saw a video on Twitter of Stephen A. Smith basically trying to say that, the Lakers asking LeBron to take a pay cut was unfair. And he started to compare him to the time when Michael Jordan wasn't getting paid much money, and when Pat Riley and some of these executives were like, all the teams should come together and pay Michael Jordan money, as if to suggest that that's what needs to happen. Like, people need to pay LeBron James. These teams need to come together and pay him, because he's not going to be able to get this money in a free agency market. Forgetting that LeBron, I think, has made over $580 million in earnings since he's been in the NBA. And I'm like, you just can't make this stuff up. So what I want to do is I want to play the video for you guys now. I want you guys to watch it, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a look at the video here.
You're a superstar in this league, getting paid $50 million. Luka comes in. They immediately hand him the franchise, which is no crime there. He feels dismissed and disrespected to some degree. Then you ask him to be a third option, deferring to Austin Reeves. And then after you do all of that, you're talking about him taking anywhere from a $30 to a $40 million pay cut. I mean, listen, we can't just look at somebody and say, oh, they're a mercenary and they're just going to the highest bid. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Y'all got to remember, the Chicago Bulls underpaid Jordan for years. And then the last 2 years of his career in Chicago, he got 30 and 33 million respectively. And when that happened, you even had people around the league like Pat Riley and others saying that, you know what, it should be entertained, that every team should chip in to pay Michael Jordan, and that cap constraints shouldn't apply to him because he's meant so much to the financial backbone of the league. Everybody should play a role in paying Michael Jordan because he helped get everybody paid. Now, did LeBron do that? No. But he's done an awful lot for the league. He's done an awful lot for the league.
Cool, so you saw that. Look, this thing is embarrassing. ESPN is called, like, they are literally panicking. Every single day is just damage control, damage control, damage control. To the point where even now, you have people like Shams damn near doing a PowerPoint presentation, essentially begging teams to sign LeBron James in the free agency market. Take a look at Shams here, basically begging NBA teams to do this. Take a look at Shams here.
To land LeBron James as it stands today, early morning, July 1st.
Only LeBron James knows in his heart where he's leaning on any of these teams. That, you can't rule out another team also coming out of the woodwork. Is there a Denver Nugget, potential pitch that they have? There's a slew of other teams, San Antonio, the Knicks. Like, if you are a NBA team that has contending aspirations, LeBron James, according to my sources, it is not a financially driven decision. That means that if you want to slot him in, if you want to pitch him on a minimum, pitch him on an exception, pitch him on a non-max contract, clearly there seems to be a window there. So I think a lot of the focus around the league is around those three teams, but you never know what can take shape.
So you saw that there. Look, guys, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. If the Lakers saw this value in LeBron, they would have signed him themselves. But what became abundantly clear was that they were ready to move on. Here's some news for you guys in case you don't know. Walker Kessler, who they just signed, the Lakers had been trying to acquire him since 2023. Or like at least for a year now, sorry. At least for a year. So they've had their eye on this guy for a long time. Why do you think they were able to make all of those moves so quick? You think the Lakers just woke up and then all of a sudden, the minute LeBron said that, then all of a sudden that's when they now got to work? They've been working on it since. LeBron knew the Lakers were going to bring it back. I knew this for a year ago. We did shows on it. When they didn't offer him a contract extension last summer, they asked Rob Pelinka this very question. And Rob was like, look, we would happy to see LeBron retire and end his career here with us. But if you have any more questions, basically go ask him. That's what Rob Pelinka, the Lakers, they already made this clear 1 year ago. So what is this big shock that, oh my God. Now to suggest that other teams should pay, this is becoming embarrassing. Like at a certain point, y'all got to stop. This is becoming embarrassing at this point. I get it. You guys that you work for ESPN and NBA has a contract with the ESPN we get all that. The NBA pays ESPN the ESPN pays $2.8 billion a year for the rights to their games. We get all of that. That's one of your partners. But my God, like it's beginning to become embarrassing now. We're at the point where you guys are begging, talking about, oh, they should have taken a $40 million pay. It's their franchise. They can do whatever the hell they want. Why are you making it seem like the Lakers are obligated to it? They don't have to do anything. And I can guarantee you the person that's behind all of this is the new ownership. The same owner that owns the LA Dodgers, they're behind this. And you can see it now. If you want to go cry, don't cry to the Lakers, go cry to him. They made their decision. Stop trying to coming on TV and crying and, oh, man, you know, this is wrong, man. You got to get him. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's like enough is enough with the antics, man. ESPN is crashing out right now, man. They are absolutely crashing out to the point where I think one of their analysts on ESPN yesterday essentially said that LeBron is a better player than Kawhi Leonard and Giannis Antetokounmpo being acquired. They're at this point right now. You have Shams out there doing public, like basically doing PowerPoint presentations, trying to get teams to sign LeBron. And you have Stephen A. Smith even out here crying that teams need to come together and pay LeBron because the Lakers didn't want to pay him $40 million. Take a look. Take a listen to these guys here. Take a listen to them.
To land LeBron James as it stands today, early morning, July 1st.
Only LeBron James knows in his heart where he's leaning on any of these teams. That, you can't rule out another team also coming out of the woodwork. Is there a Denver Nugget, potential pitch that they have? There's a slew of other teams, San Antonio, the Knicks. Like, if you are a NBA team that has contending aspirations, LeBron James, according to my sources, it is not a financially driven decision. That means that if you want to slot him in, if you want to pitch him on a minimum, pitch him on an exception, pitch him on a non-max contract, clearly there seems to be a window there. So I think a lot of the focus around the league is around those three teams, but you never know what can take shape.
You're a superstar in this league, getting paid $50 million. Luka comes in. They immediately hand him the franchise, which is no crime there. He feels dismissed and disrespected to some degree. Then you ask him to be a third option, deferring to Austin Reeves. And then after you do all of that, you're talking about him taking anywhere from a $30 to a $40 million pay cut. I mean, listen, we can't just look at somebody and say, oh, they're a mercenary and they're just going to the highest bid. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Y'all got to remember, the Chicago Bulls underpaid Jordan for years. And then the last 2 years of his career in Chicago, he got 30 and 33 million respectively. And when that happened, you even had people around the league like Pat Riley and others saying that, you know what, it should be entertained, that every team should chip in to pay Michael Jordan, and that cap constraints shouldn't apply to him because he's meant so much to the financial backbone of the league. Everybody should play a role in paying Michael Jordan because he helped get everybody paid. Now, did LeBron do that? No. But he's done an awful lot for the league. He's done an awful lot for the league.
You heard them there. But then it gets worse. This morning I was going through the internet and I came across a post on Instagram. This is from Sinead Today, right? Sinead Ogumike on ESPN. And it was featuring some comments that Ramona Shelburne said. And I want to show you guys a thumbnail quickly. It says, I don't feel LeBron is beloved in LA. Ramona Shelburne on LeBron's LA exit. And then it goes on. LeBron's Laker era is over. But how will the Lakers actually remember him? Ramona Shelburne says he restored the franchise to relevance, but was never truly loved in LA. So what I want to do is I want to play what they had to say, take a listen to the sound there, and I'm going to come back and continue on the show.
But I don't feel like LeBron is beloved in LA. I don't even think he's really appreciated. I do radio in LA all the time, and you wouldn't believe the callers we get. I was at that game where he passed Kareem. It was a nice moment, but it was not the kind of moment that Kobe had. It was not like people clapped, people got their phones out, but it wasn't like a real love. It was like, I'm thinking we got the World Cup here. And it's like if you go watch somebody else's national team in a big game and you're like, hey, this is cool. But it's not their own. Like LeBron James came here late in his career. His best years were elsewhere. People appreciated him to some extent, but I don't think they really did.
What you can't take away from LeBron James is that he has won 3 championships with 3 different teams, and he brought the Lakers, like you said, back to relevance. They got what some people say, they put an asterisk on the bubble
That was the hardest championship to win.
And why so?
Because you had to give up everything. You had to give up everything in that championship. You had to be away from your family for 3 months. I know there was a lot of players that tapped out, a lot of teams that tapped out that couldn't take it. People have spoken, Paul George spoke openly about that, about how hard that bubble was. And so I think that was the hardest championship for anyone to win. I thought it was no surprise that it was the Lakers and the Heat who had the 2 most mentally tough players in the NBA that were in the finals that year, Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. And so I think people in Los Angeles did not appreciate him the way he should have been. And I think they will miss him now that he is gone. But it's what happens. You got Luka Doncic. This was always going to happen. They traded for Luka, and LeBron's days were numbered. And it's really weird. Like, I mean, have you ever been in a situation where someone younger than you, and I don't want to say better, but kind of does the same stuff as you in your prime? You ever been there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still amazing.
No. Like when I was playing, when I was playing, I was like Asia Wilson comes into the league, and I'm like, oh shoot, like this is a level up. The game continues to evolve and get better.
So you saw that there. ESPN is in scramble mode right now. They are scrambling. They're trying to do everything in their power to lighten the blow from this decision from the Lakers. Because the Lakers essentially showed LeBron James the door. And this is something that they had been planning for a while now. I want to put up a post here. It says, LA inquired about Walker Kessler as far back as early in 2023-24 campaign. Utah's asking price was too steep. Luka Doncic asked the Lakers to find an A-list center this offseason. Utah now has had more motivation to move Kessler. You have that there. Then, of course, you have the other one where you have the post of people are showing Anthony Davis basically saying that of Anthony Davis crying for a big man. They never did it, and all of a sudden Luka Doncic did it. Then he did as well. Then we have another post here, and we probably play the sound here. This is of Kendrick Perkins. I'm going to show you the post. It says, I strongly believe he deserves a statue. Kendrick Perkins on LeBron James's tenure with the Lakers. For those of you guys that didn't hear what Kendrick had to say, take a listen to this here.
I think he deserves a statue, to be honest with you. When you look at the records he broke in a Laker uniform, like getting the all-time scoring record, like that moment with him and Kareem winning the NBA championship, like stacking up those accolades and what he did as an individual. Like we said, this is the longest he's ever played for any franchise. Like he has broken records, and it's along with delivering the championship. I know a lot of Laker fans out there are gonna be in my comments, and they probably already are saying that I'm crazy. But I strongly believe he deserves a statue.
You saw him there. Then the next post, they're posting a slide with LeBron and the 40,000. And all they've been doing is damage control ever since. It's all damage control. They've been pushing one narrative after the other narrative, after the other narrative, after the other narrative, and the entire thing is falling apart. It's falling apart. If LeBron was the guy that you say he was, why is he looking to accept a minimum contract? The truth of the matter was the Lakers were the only team that he knew was going to pay him those $40 million or those max money. But the LeBron fans that were pissed off at Austin Reeves, he ain't worth nothing. The market said so. Detroit was willing to pay him max dollars, over $200 million. So the market said so. If LeBron is a max guy, why aren't there any max offers out there on the table for him? If he's a max guy, the way you guys like to say he is, where are the offers on the table to offer him max dollars? Where are these offers? Then they can say, okay, let's match it. There are no offers. That's why they put out the statement that his agent said, the LeBron said it's no longer about money. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. Yes, because LeBron just woke up one day and decided he doesn't want to make any more money. Sure. Last year, he wanted a contract extension. You think if he went to the Lakers and said, I'll sign for the minimum, I'm not interested in money, man. Money's not important. Happiness is what's important. You guys can give me the minimum, and I'll sign with you. You think the Lakers want to give him a contract? Of course they would have. But we all know that that's not the case. They're just trying to spin the narrative, and it's not working. It's just not working. I can't even believe that this is a topic. I sincerely can't even believe that this is something that we're even talking about. Would you believe that LeBron fans really thought that he was on the level of a Kobe Bryant in Los Angeles? And you know the craziest part? According to reports, he felt the same way too. Ramona Shelburne said it. I want to put up the post. We shared this video yesterday, but I want to put up this post now. And it says this. Disrespected. Report. LeBron James reportedly felt disrespected when the Lakers asked him to take a pay cut, especially after the franchise gave Kobe Bryant a 2-year, $48 million extension at the end of his career. The Lakers also held a meeting last summer with Luka Doncic to outline the 2026 offseason, and LeBron James was not a part of those plans. So this morning I was going through the net and I came across a video here from Sinead Ogumike's account featuring some comments that Ramona Shelburne had to make, where she essentially was saying that LeBron was not as loved in LA. That Laker fans didn't really gravitate towards him the way that they did with Kobe Bryant. And that maybe he himself didn't feel loved. And to that I say no. What we want to do is want to play the sound now. Take a listen to Ramona Shelburne talking about this, and then we'll come back and react. Take a listen to this.
But I don't feel like LeBron is beloved in LA. I don't even think he's really appreciated. I do radio in LA all the time, and you wouldn't believe the callers we get. I was at that game where he passed Kareem. It was a nice moment, but it was not the kind of moment that Kobe had. It was not like people clapped, people got their phones out, but it wasn't like a real love. It was like, I'm thinking we got the World Cup here. And it's like if you go watch somebody else's national team in a big game and you're like, hey, this is cool. But it's not their own, like LeBron James came here late in his career. His best years were elsewhere. people appreciated him to some extent, but I don't think they really did.
What you can't take away from LeBron James is that he has won 3 championships with 3 different teams, and he brought the Lakers, like you said, back to relevance. They got what some people say, they put an asterisk on the bubble
That was the hardest championship to win.
And why so?
Because you had to give up everything. You had to give up everything in that championship. You had to be away from your family for 3 months. I know there was a lot of players that tapped out, a lot of teams that tapped out that couldn't take it. People have spoken. Paul George spoke openly about that, about how hard that bubble was, and so I think that was the hardest championship for anyone to win. I thought it was no surprise that it was the Lakers and the Heat who had the 2 most mentally tough players in the NBA that were in the finals that year, Jimmy Butler and LeBron James. And so I think people in Los Angeles did not appreciate him the way he should have been, and I think they will miss him now that he is gone. But it's what happens. You got Luka Doncic. This was always going to happen. They traded for Luka, and LeBron's days were numbered. And it's really weird. Like, I mean, have you ever been in a situation where someone younger than you, and I don't want to say better, but kind of does the same stuff as you in your prime? You ever been there?
Yeah.
I mean, you're still amazing.
No. Like when I was playing,
you know?
I mean, like when I was playing, I was like Asia Wilson comes into the league, and I'm like, oh shoot, like this is a level up. The game continues to evolve and get better.
So you heard what he had to say. I can't even believe that this is a real thing. I can't even believe that we're having this conversation. What did y'all think? Sincerely speaking, what did y'all think? I think this is probably what happened. LeBron fans and the media probably overestimated his impact or just how popular he was. And they thought that, and they underestimated how much of an impact Kobe would have, or how much of an impact Kobe Bryant had on the Lakers. It's like they don't realize just how popular Kobe was in LA. Because for them to think that he was just going to walk in, and Laker fans viewed LeBron as an op. Let's keep it a bean here. They did. That he was just going to walk in LA with his MVPs and 2 championships or 3 championships at the time, and Laker fans were going to embrace him the same way as Kobe. They found out that no, it wasn't going to work like that. That's why when he passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Nick Wright was crying on TV saying, "Oh, it's like it felt like it wasn't a big deal. It felt like people made more of a big deal when Kobe passed Michael Jordan in scoring than when LeBron." Yes, Nick, you were right. It wasn't a big deal. It wasn't as much. LeBron is primarily pushed by the media and his fans. The reason Kobe Bryant was more loved, I believe, is because he was more relatable. He's more human. You've seen the bad side. You saw him go through the real drama. That's human life. People go through things, so that's relatable. And then you've seen him in the high moments. People go through things. The issue that he had with his wife, people have relationships like this. That's real. These are real things that affect people's lives. And Kobe was not afraid to be himself. He wasn't trying to manicure his image. He was what he was, and people didn't like him. The media I'm talking about. They didn't like him. They were forced to talk about him and praise him because he was so great. But the moment he suffered his Achilles injury, that's when they started trashing him. But the fan base still loved him. And then I heard later on that LeBron came to the Lakers. He started using Kobe's locker and took his parking spot. Really? And you thought the fans were just going to take that laying down? No, they didn't. You chose the wrong town. You chose the wrong franchise. So when these people are talking about they made the Lakers relevant, that's like saying a player can go to the Dallas Cowboys and make them relevant. Regardless if the Lakers are winning or losing, they're still the Lakers. We're still going to talk about them. They're still one of the most popular sports franchises in the world. And LeBron fans are going to find that out this year. They're thinking, oh, the Lakers are going to collapse and they're going to go back into obscurity. None of that's going to happen. They have 16 championships for a reason. They've been through the ups and the downs. But to her, it almost seems like she's hurt by it. I'm like, but you cover LA. You cover the Lakers. Why is this a shock to you? Why are you surprised by this? Like, what's the shock here? Yeah, look, Kobe Bryant is beloved in LA. Really? You don't say. You don't say. Really? Imagine if Jalen Brunson played for the Knicks for 20 years, won 5 championships, and then, I don't know, Trae Young goes and joins the Knicks and he wins 1 championship, and you're like, oh, why isn't Trae Young loved the way Jalen Brunson is loved? Really? You asking me this dumbass question? But he's a great player. Yes, we know. But the problem is the Lakers are used to great players. They had Jerry West. They had Will Chamberlain. They had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They had James Worthy. They had Magic Johnson. They had Shaq. They had Kobe. So they're already used to it. They're not starstruck. They're not a fan base. Oh my God, hey, welcome in, man. Welcome to the city of stars, man. Look around in the front row, bro. We used to the star power. And I think they thought that LeBron was going to go there and they were just going to be looking at him like, wow, this is incredible. LeBron. And the fan base was like, no. And they didn't forget Kobe. They didn't. This is a topic that I think is important that we talk about. And I think it's time that we have this conversation. And the question is this. Did Kobe Bryant fans force LeBron James to leave the Lakers? It's a real question. Everywhere you turn, the Laker fan base is celebrating. I have not seen one Laker fan, not one Laker fan say they're sad that LeBron is leaving. Not even one. They are all rejoicing that he's gone. Even this morning, I saw a video with it was with Derek Fisher. Derek Fisher, I think, was on some he was on some LA, I think, radio show, and they were essentially asking him, what do you call it? What do you think about NBA fans like celebrating? What do you think about Laker fans celebrating the fact that LeBron James has left the team? Why do you think they're so happy? Why aren't they more sad and this and this and this? And Derek Fisher was just basically saying that, I don't think it's right that these fans are celebrating this way, and it's wrong. Hold on, let me see if I can find that it's wrong that they're celebrating like this. They shouldn't do this and this and this and this. And essentially, the other guy that came on after him basically said, I'm happy to see LeBron James go. He was never really a Laker. He shouldn't be here, and this and this and this and this. And I'm now beginning to think, did the Kobe fan base push him out? Because what this has made me realize as a lifelong Kobe Bryant fan is that the fan base is very, very big. They're very, very big. Kobe fans were not happy that LeBron came to LA. And you know what's the most annoying part? LeBron knew that Kobe fans would not be happy, and he came anyway. You think LeBron doesn't know that Kobe fans don't like him? You think Rich Paul and all these guys LeBron ain't ever seen one of our videos? You think they don't know that I'm a Kobe Bryant fan? You think they don't know that? Of course they have. They know. But they still said, we're going to come anyway because we're LeBron James. And they found out. They found out. You think it was by coincidence when Jeannie Buss put up 3 statues? I was going to put up 3 statues, and on one of them she wrote, "The man that built Staples Center." That was also a message to them. Go look at the Lakers accounts, Instagram and other accounts during, I think, Kobe's birthday and all. Go look. See how much love they show him. The Lakers franchise loved Kobe Bryant. They don't love LeBron James. And more importantly, he didn't love them. And they felt it. The fan base didn't want him. They didn't accept him. Kobe meant too much to the city of LA, man. Too much. Too much. Too much. And I think they're finding that out. I also know that old school Laker fans wanted LeBron gone, but I know a vast majority of my Kobe Bryant fans. They didn't want him there. And LeBron should have read the room and skipped over the Lakers. He should have gone somewhere else. Because now you're leaving the team and the fan base is celebrating. That's crazy. When have you ever heard that a top 10 player is leaving your team and the fan base is in total celebration mode? Total elation. You can pull up video after video after video after video on Instagram of fans celebrating to the high heavens. They just love the fact that this guy is gone. They can't even subdue their excitement. They can't subdue it. And that's a byproduct of the fan base saying, finally, get the on. That's what you're seeing here. They wanted him gone. And it looks like the Kobe fans won. I'll also say this, though. Some LeBron fans have been saying for years that Rob Pelinka was sabotaging LeBron's career, that they didn't like him. I thought that was all BS because the Lakers drafted Bronny. But if you ask me, do I think that Rob Pelinka liked LeBron being on the Lakers? No. If you also ask me, do I think a lot of the Laker legends wanted LeBron gone? I'll say yes. A lot of them. A lot of them were annoyed with him. You think James Worthy wanted LeBron on the team? Listen to Byron Scott. You think they do? Seriously, you think they do? They know he's not a Laker. The fan base knows he's not a Laker. The book that was written about Jeannie Buss and the LeBron James fallout and all of this, go read it. We didn't do shows on it. You should read it. There were events that the Lakers held when LeBron first got there, which is like a perennial event where Lakers come together. LeBron was supposed to attend. He just ghosted them. He just ignored them. Go read what Bill Plaschke had to say about LeBron James when he first got to LA. Go read what Bill Plaschke, y'all know who he is, Bill Plaschke, what he had to say about LeBron James when he went to the Lakers. He didn't like him. As a matter of fact, there's an article that Bill Plaschke just wrote that came out from the New York Times. I'll read the headline because the New York Times always wants you to pay for something, and I'm not going to pay. I'll read you the headline. It says, LeBron James got out before the Lakers threw him out. There's an article that was published in 2024. I'll read it for you. It says, Bill Plaschke slams LeBron James, calls for him to leave the Lakers. This is Bill Plaschke. It says, it's not too long, but I'll read it. It says, LeBron, you have two paths out of town. Pick one. It doesn't matter. Just go and get and let the Lakers get on with their lives. Bill Plaschke of the Los Angeles Times. Okay, the Los Angeles Times, not the New York Times. Excuse me, the Los Angeles Times. It says these words ring in a longtime Los Angeles writer, Bill Plaschke's latest article. It focuses on the Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James, essentially calling for him to leave the team. The Lakers have seen their fair share of issues this season, but James didn't help anything with his hourglass tweets after the Atlanta Hawks blew out the team. Los Angeles then proceeded to win 2 straight games against the top 2 Eastern Conference squads, one of which was without the services of James. I'll keep reading. And then LeBron, and they're showing the hourglass. It says, when he was asked about the tweet, he refused to give any insight. It was another example of the passive-aggressive nature of James that had followed him throughout his career. Plaschke seemingly had enough of it, and he said this: for all his greatness, James remains a passive-aggressive pain in the butt who annually cryptically threatens the Lakers if they don't give him a championship roster. Yet, while he delivers weird nudges and nooges, right? And nooges, I guess that's what it means, noogies or whatever, about the team's problems, he's continually ignoring the obvious. He's the problem. That's what Bill Plaschke had to say. Forget about what the media is saying. They didn't want him there. And LeBron was so arrogant, he thought he was bigger than the program. He thought he was bigger than the Lakers, and he found out. Go look at that interview when they asked him. I think it was maybe even Bill Plaschke or someone when they asked him, because the Laker fans were demanding. He's like, I'm LeBron James. He was getting annoyed because he thought I'm LeBron. So He found out, no. No. They didn't want him there. We're happy that you're gone. Don't come back. You should have never been there in the first place. We ain't gonna miss you. This is coming from a Kobe Bryant fan, and Kobe, we holding you down.